Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I am Deborah Johnson, and I am sitting in for Gail Dudley today. We are so glad to be back on the air. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. It feels so good to see you coming in the stream. Good morning, Tandra Williams. It is so good to see you. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Man, yesterday there was a lot going on. Marianne Jackson. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There was a lot going on yesterday and just some technical difficulties with our connectivity with Facebook. But we're so grateful for those of you who are able to jump in on LinkedIn, jump in on YouTube to come in and be a part of the talk that we had. We're hoping that we'll be able to put up a URL of yesterday's show so that you'll have it to be able to look at it another time. But we're so glad to have you here this morning. We're going to have a great time. Good morning, Rosanna Bivens. Good morning, Robert Holman. It's going to be a good show today. It is the first day of December. Can I say this? Hey, Kim Edmondson, the first day of December. And for those of you who are Christmas enthusiasts, like you cannot wait to deck the halls, this is the time. Some of you deck the halls before Thanksgiving. You got to stop that, okay? Before Thanksgiving, getting our holidays all mixed up. But now is the time. Just full disclosure, I'm still looking at fall in my house because fall is my favorite season, but I'm getting into the Christmas spirit. Pretty soon, I'll be decking the halls. So that's what we're going to be talking about later on in the show. Talking about what we're going to do, how we're going to do that. We're going to have our own Isaiah and Lexi in for another takeover as they talk about that. But we're just going to say good morning to you, all of you on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, folks who are driving along and listening to the audio. Thank you for tuning in. We're so glad to have you here. Yes, Christmas is 24 days away, and I want you to put into the chat. Are you the all-out Christmas decorator, or are you a minimalist when it comes to decorations? Or are you a Scrooge and don't put up any at all? But let me know. Let us all know. What do you do this time of the year? Is this a hard time? Kim Edmondson, you deck the hall on Christmas Eve. Wow. Now that's a big deal. But I hope you keep it up till February so that you have time to really enjoy it, right? I hope that's how it is. We got a lot going on today. So we got our show today with some news that we're going to be giving, but we also have our young people take over as they talk about Christmas. So I'm going to jump right into the news this morning. Great news. CNN reports that House Democrats chose caucus chair Hakeem Jeffries of New York to succeed Nancy Pelosi as leader of the Democrats in the chamber next year. A historic move that will make him the first Black person to lead one of the two major parties in either chamber of Congress. The first one, House Democrats met behind closed doors Wednesday morning on Capitol Hill to make their decision. Jeffries ran unopposed as the leader, with Massachusetts Representative Catherine Clark, current Assistant Speaker, running as whip, and California Representative Peter Aguilar, previously vice chair of the caucus and was expected to win the spot to lead the House Democrat caucus. Republicans have the majority in the next Congress, so Jeffries, Clark, and Aguilera will lead in the Democratic minority the first two terms. At 52, check this out, Jeffries will represent a generational change from the current triarchy of House Democratic leaders who are 3 decades older than he is. 3 decades older. That's 30 years, guys. 30 years older than he is. He became the chairman of the Democratic caucus in 2019, making him the youngest member serving in leadership. His rise to leadership comes after Pelosi, House Majority Leaders Steny Hoyer, and House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn announced they would be stepping down from their current leadership positions. Clyburn is expected to become the assistant leader in the new Congress. Wow. A new influx. We've been talking about the need to have new blood, new ideas, fresh perspectives. I'm looking forward to some really good things to come. CBS is talking about Meghan Markle. There's some new things up front. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, received multiple disgusting and very real threats against her life when she was living in the UK. According to former head of UK counterterrorism policing. In an interview with Britain's Channel 4 News, Neil Basu said the threats came from the far right, which he called the fastest growing source of terrorist threats in the UK. If you had seen the stuff that was written and you were receiving it, the kind of rhetoric that's online, if you don't know what I know, you would feel under threat all the time, Basil said, adding that the police had teams investigating and people have been prosecuted for those threats against Meghan. The Sussexes have spoken publicly about the racism directed at Meghan during their time in Britain, after the couple stepped back from their royal duties in 2020. The UK government decided they should no longer receive police protection during visits, even if they paid for that protection themselves. Meghan and Harry use private security services in the US, but Harry's lawyers argue this is not sufficient in the UK. Basu told Channel 4 News that when he started working in the UK, counterterrorism in 2015, threats from the far right made up about 6% of his department's workload. When he left just over 10 years ago, or just over a year ago, he said that it had risen over 20%. So those are some real threats going on to the Duke and Duchess, and thus their exit over to the United States. As we all know that they're now in Boston preparing to speak this week. Some real tough stuff, being under threats, and we can't possibly imagine what that's like, right? We see the pageantry, we see the things that are going on, but there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. So we just have to keep our eyes and our prayers up for folks who are in the spotlight, feeling that kind of pressure. On another front, the CNBC rail strike finally has a tentative agreement. The House passed, the CNBC reports about the rail strike. The House passed legislation Wednesday that would force a tentative rail labor agreement and thwart a national strike. The bill now goes to the Senate, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat of New York, has promised swift passage. The House voted 290 to 137, with 79 Republicans joining 211 Democrats to pass the legislation, which approves new contracts providing railroad workers with 24% increases over 5 years from 2020 through 2024. Immediate payouts averaging about $11,000 upon ratification, and an extra paid day off. 8 Democrats and 129 Republicans voted against the legislation. In a separate 221 to 207 vote, the House also approved a resolution to provide 7 days of paid sick leave in the contract instead of 1, which is railroad workers' main disagreement with the current deal. As it stands, get this, rail workers don't have any guaranteed paid sick leave. Are they serious right now? No paid sick leave right now for railroad workers. I can't even imagine that. You're working on the railroad all day. It's a tough job. No sick days. That's something that I'm so glad to see has been rectified. Good morning, Judy Neal. Good morning, Mary Jenkins. It's so good to see you here this morning. I just can't imagine that. No sick leave. When I worked for the federal government, we had 4 hours of sick leave every pay period, and it never expired. With coronavirus, with all the things that we've been dealing with, how is it that they don't have sick leave? So I'm so glad to see that that's turning around. But still, in other news, wait for it. Huffington Post reports Donald Trump tax returns. The House Ways and Means Committee now has access to 6 years of former President Trump's tax returns after a 3-year battle to obtain them. The committee won access to the material from the Treasury Department on Wednesday after the U.S. Supreme Court rejected Trump's final appeal on November the 22nd. They finally have them. Treasury has complied with last week's court decision, a Treasury official said, winning the ability to examine Trump's tax returns, bringing to a close a legal fight that began with the Ways and Means Committee and the Treasury Department in April of 2019 to hand over the then president's tax returns under a law that allows congressional tax writing committees to obtain tax returns for its investigation. Yes, Latrice Jones, it's about time. Yes, Tanya Williams, it really is sad and crazy that, about the sick leave as well. Lori Wallace, good morning. It's crazy about getting sick leave. You can get one as a secretary or a call center, but you can't get one on the railroad. Hard, vigorous work. That's some tough stuff. Well, we don't want to delay having our young peoples take over this morning. Okay, our young people are in the house, and so we've got our own Isaiah and our own Lexi coming in the room to talk about Christmas, to start this on start our season on a good foot. So come on in, Lexi and Isaiah.
Hey everybody, what's going on?
Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? So, right now we just gonna talk about some quick Christmas gift ideas because it's the first of the month. We in December, the 12 days of Christmas, jingle bells. Mariah Carey's throwing out the ice right now. You're going to hear all I want is you for Christmas and Target all over the place. So with that being said, Lexi, I'm gonna start it off with you. What's a good Christmas gift? Let's say, for the teenager in the family.
Oh gosh, for a teenager? Well, I think for a female, it depends on if you're like maybe girly girl or tomboy. Maybe self-care days, would be good for her. And then for
True.
guys, that's hard to speak for the guys, but I mean, what you got for the guys? I don't know nothing for the guys.
For the guys, you can't go wrong with like a good. We love our music. Who doesn't love music? So something that's be good for everybody. A Bluetooth speaker.
True.
You can't go wrong with that. Whether it's a JBL, a Sony, a Skull Candy, a speaker. Everybody loves their music. And like you said something about self-care. For the guys, I'm gonna put y'all on to some game. I know we got some high school viewers in here. I'm gonna put you on to some game. It's important to take care of yourself. Take care of your nails, your teeth, your hair, all of that. People pay attention to that. If you know, you know. So a good nail kit. That way you can give your nails a good trim, good cleanup. A good nail kit. You can't go wrong with that. That's part of the self-care.
Now let's not do our kids wrong and go to Five Below and get some little broken up and broken out speaker. That's not what we said. You got $20. Go on
Exactly.
go see what they got for $20 and the clearance, because we all know who don't love a clearance. Thank God for the clearance. But
Come on now, you can't go wrong with a clearance deal. But I got an important question for y'all. I want everybody in the chat to let us know which holiday drink do you prefer. Now we keeping it clean because Lexi's still on here, but do you prefer hot chocolate or do you prefer hot apple cider? Me personally, I'm a hot chocolate guy. I'm a hot chocolate with the whipped cream, a few marshmallows in it, maybe a little bit of the shredded chocolate. Kind of like the Ned Flanders hot chocolate type of thing. What about you, Lex?
I'm the same way. I'm so glad you said hot cocoa, because we would have had a problem if you said apple cider. No,
Oh no.
offense to those who say apple cider. We're going to pray for you. But it's Christmas time, and I love my hot cocoa. It's just the right thing. Like, and then you got like those spoons made out of peppermint or whatever, and you stir it, and they be melting in it. And then marshmallows galore just sitting right on top. Then you got that mustache and oof. There's nothing.
You gotta have. It's essential to have the whipped cream and the marshmallows in it. Now the peppermint, I'm not really too sure about all that. I'm not really too sure about all that. We got Latrice Jones saying hot chocolate. Miss Marian Jackson saying hot chocolate. Miss Kim Emerson saying hot chocolate. I've seen a lot of hot chocolates. Miss Lori Wallace says she does hot chocolate with whipped cream and cinnamon.
That's good. That's good. That's the way to go.
Miss Jacqueline says I prefer hot molded cider. I've never heard of that before. I've never really heard of that before. Mary Jenkins says hot chocolate with extra marshmallows and whipped cream. Come on now, that's essential. But Miss Tanya Williams says eggnog sparkles out. Now I do like a good eggnog. I do like eggnog.
Can't argue with the eggnog, not at
Yeah,
all. I mean,
it,
with the cinnamon on top, and then you like swirl it together. Oof.
it's that perfect bit of like sweet and like I don't want to say savory, but it's definitely got like a milky texture to it.
Right, and
So,
it just feels like home in a cup, just home. Like it's just, it's not like hot chocolate, but it's there. It's there. It's real close.
yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with a hot chocolate or an apple cider. So Lexi, I know you usually do your national day. So so please enlighten us. What's the for the first of the month, for the first of December, on the first day of December, Lexi gave to us.
I like that. I think that could be a thing. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good
I got
one.
you.
See, great minds think alike. We're there. We're just there.
Come on,
But
we
December
here.
1st, yeah, we up there. So December 1st, today we have bifocals at the monitor day, which I'll explain for a second. Eat a red apple day, pie day, and then my favorite of them all, it's Rosa Parks day, for sure. You already know. And then bifocals at the monitor day. That means being kind to people who wear bifocals while working and reading on computers from nationaltoday.com. So please be kind to those who wear glasses, period. But, I see you over there, bro. I see you.
You feel me?
We got you.
It's a bifocal thing. I know y'all wouldn't understand. But what was the third thing? You said something about pie?
Pie day. Now, it could be an apple pie versus pecan pie situation, but just pie day today.
So it's just like any pie in
Just
general.
any pie. What pie do y'all prefer? That's a good question.
So like a sweet potato pie, a blueberry cheesecake pie,
if it got
a chocolate
pie, it's in the count.
So even like the math pie.
Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go there with me. Algebra and geometry is enough for me today. We're good. Let's wrap it up. I'm good.
Oh man, that's funny, man. She she said I'm already dealing with enough math and algebra is. I don't want to think about that pie, but you can't. A good sweet potato pie. That's been on my mind since Thanksgiving. With a little bit of whipped cream on the top.
Sweet potato souffle.
Souffle.
Yeah, I use souffle. Some people don't use souffle. Y'all know what I'm talking about in the comments. The difference between what is it, souffle and I don't know. Some people call it casserole. I don't call it casserole. It's souffle.
Nah. Souffle make you sound fancy.
I sound souffle.
Oh man. And also another update. We got our show, the young people having our hip hop show coming in January next month, y'all. We are ready to have a little hip hop discussion with a hip hop parade featuring Isaiah and Lexi. Be on the lookout for that. We're really excited to bring you that show to give you young people's perspective on the history of one of the most popular genres in music today, and of all time. So with that being said, it's your young people. We just wanted to come on here to give you a few gift ideas, get a few insights, a few discussions on your favorite holiday drinks. Lexi, thank you for national days. I'm really enlightened. I'm really intrigued every time you mention national days. I didn't even know today was National Pie Day, or National Bifocals Day. So
I'll see if I can get y'all to some every day. We'll see what we can do about that since we got on the first day December. Lexi gave it to me. Yeah, I like that.
You see, it got a good ring to it. You see, the great minds think alike. And we also got some people saying what kind of pies they like. We got Miss Marion Jackson says she likes a good sweet potato or pecan pie. Can't go wrong with that. Me personally, I can't have pecans. I'm allergic to nuts. Miss Jacqueline says she loves sweet potato pie and key lime pie or lemon pie.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, key lime pie.
You can't go wrong.
No, the key lime pie does sound good. Latrice Jones says Isaiah always perks them with food as mentioned. Okay, now Well, all right now. I mean, who? You know, I'm a foodie. Like,
Yeah, we know. We know. Your mama.
exactly. Miss Sardinia says warm pecan pie with butter pecan ice cream.
Mm. Now that's a
Mm.
blessing right there.
Like a Alamo type of thing. When you have an apple pie, you put some vanilla ice cream on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call an Alamo.
Oh, okay, I'm being educated today. I'm a little behind.
Just a little something, just
Something.
just a little, just a little bit, just a little bit. That's the fact for today. You bought the national days, I bought the facts for today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah. Oh man, so Lexi, we appreciate you here on News and Motion. Thank you for being our youth ambassador. Um, with that being said, we're gonna bring in Miss Deborah Johnson, and she's gonna bring y'all the inspirational message. With that, so Miss Johnson, thank you for joining back us with us. Thank you for allowing the young people to discuss the national days and the gifts.
You guys crack me up. Oh my goodness. You light up the room when you start talking about food. I think you should be hip hop and food, hip hop and foodies. I mean, seriously, your personality comes through when you do that. I mean, you're educating about a la mode. You're making us laugh. I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much. You just made my week. You
Thank
absolutely made my
you.
week. Aren't our young people wonderful? I mean, like seriously, Lady Overflow, I'm hungry now and it's real early and I'm trying to do intermittent fasting. But if I start now, I won't be able to eat after 2 or 3 o'clock. So thanks for that, Isaiah and Lexi. Now I'm going to be hungry until 11 o'clock. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is a lot of fun. Oh my goodness gracious. This was a good morning, a really good morning. I was looking at the chat and realized it's birthday month starting for Mary Jenkins and Tanja Williams. Enjoy it all month long. Every time I have a birthday, I do it all year long. People get so tired of me and birthdays, but if it's a monumental birthday, and these days every year is a monumental birthday, it's never too late to celebrate, and it's never too early to start. So happy birthday! Start your year off well. We're loving that. Shardinia, I see you came. You came in this morning. It's so good to see you. That was a whole lot of fun, and in that spirit of fun, our inspirational message is just give from your abundance. Give. Oh, wait a minute, Mary Jenkins. Okay, 55 on Christmas. I'm loving that. Christmas Day. I have a Christmas baby. My middle child, Joshua Alexander, born on Christmas Day. I know all about that. That's a wonderful, wonderful time of the year, and that was an amazing gift. Tanja 50. Oh, this is the year for the 50s. Okay, all right, 50th year. All right, we celebrate big, really big. Like enjoy every day. But our message is give from your abundance. Sometimes we stress so much. It's a joyous time of the year. We're putting up trees. We're laughing and talking to everybody. We're smiling at everyone that comes by. But you got to give. The big part of the season is giving back. Seriously, the biggest part is giving back. And we get stressed out sometimes about the sale. Wait a minute, I told you the Black Fridays that start in July, and then the Cyber Monday, and then there's a Giving Tuesday. And you're thinking, okay, so what am I going to have left to give? Give from what you have. I'm starting off December with a box in my kitchen, and I am pulling out things out of my cabinet. Sometimes we have so much we can't even find what we need. My husband goes to the store and gets me another can of cream of mushroom soup, only for me to discover I had 3 in the very back. Pull that stuff out, put it in the box, give it every day, put something in that box to give away. Just going on and doing that. Put that in that box. Those coats. If you've got 5 coats or if you've got 10 coats, you got too many coats. And there are people out here who are cold. And they would love to have that coat that you keep putting on and saying, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I bought this cool purple coat. I'm not sure why I bought the purple coat, but I love it. Clean out those closets. Yes, I am doing my challenge, my own personal challenge this year to clean out my closet. How many pairs of gloves do we need? I had these big gloves that every time I said, well, if you have a really big storm, we're going to need the ones that come all the way up. Well, how many of those do you need? maybe only one pair, and we can keep up with them, right? Pass them on. Make little bags, put them in your car, and just hand them out the window. When you see someone that's cold, pass it on. Think about what you can do in your local schools. They need school supplies. Teachers pay out of their own pockets for those supplies. Give from your abundance. I walk in my office and I think, how many pencils and pens do I need? Are you getting a theme here? This is the time to lighten up for the new year. Maybe that's what it should have been called. Lighten up for the new year. And guess what? Don't grow weary. Just don't grow weary in doing well. I know sometimes by this time of the year, you're saying, man, we just gave it Thanksgiving. It was Giving Tuesday. Every time we turn around, there's another cause. I'm getting overwhelmed. There's just so many causes. There's children who are hungry. You can't do it for everyone, but you can do what you can do. Give from what you already have. Look around and think, do I really need all of this? Can I pass some of this on? There are so many people who are food insufficient, and the prices of food are skyrocketing. But when you walk into the store and you say, oh my gosh, they got it on sale. They've got this on sale. I can't believe it. While you're grabbing one for yourself, grab something for someone else. Take it and pass it on to a neighbor. That neighbor with those 3 or 4 children, you don't know how they do it. Pass it on to someone else. The more you give, the more comes back to you in joy, in peace, in feeling good about just doing well. Galatians 6 says, do not become weary in well-doing, because in due season, you're going to reap a harvest yourself, okay? Do not become weary in well-doing. Galatians 6:9, because in due season, you're going to reap a harvest if you don't give up. Don't get weary when people say, could you give? If you can't give $20, $100, give $1. It adds up. Trust me, it adds up. But do things that give you joy. Give from your abundance. When you say, I've got leftover change, some people actually put leftover change in a cup in their cart, in their wallets. Then just take it and donate it to a charity. It adds up. Let me just tell you a quick story. I had leftover change and I kept putting it in a can and I didn't think much about it. I'm just letting you know how little things add up. And all of a sudden, I had an opportunity to go to Italy. And I was thinking, where am I going to get airfare to go to Italy, right? It was in that can, a popcorn can full of change that I had kept for a couple of years. Give from what you already have. And I was always one to give to other people, never minded giving to other folks. I had no idea that when I was just dropping in that change, that little bit that goes a long way, God was planning something for me. When I was giving away on this end, God was storing up for me on another end. You cannot beat God's giving. You absolutely cannot. Give from your abundance. Be a cheerful giver. Start December off by just thinking, what do I have that's too much? Do I have books that are too much? Do I have this that's too much? Someone can use that. They'll be so excited. Those gently used items, that brand new item that you thought you were going to use, wrap it up, pass it on. Even when you have too much dinner on your table, make a plate for the lady down the street, the widower down the street, the person that's struggling, and say, I was just thinking about you. I brought you dinner. It'll make all the difference. You cannot go wrong giving from your heart, giving from your abundance. Don't be weary in well-doing. You will reap a harvest if you don't faint. Give from your abundance. I want to hear your stories this month. This month on News in Motion, we're just going to be looking for your stories of how creative ways for us to give back. We're all looking for ways to do that. But start right there at home. Give from what you already have. We want you to have a wonderful week this week, a wonderful weekend. We're looking forward to our show next week, to having our host back next week. We're so grateful she had rest. Continue to pray for Kenny. He's doing well. We're so grateful for that. But keep praying for our own Kenny Stanley from Game Over, as we thanking God for his recovery. And we thank God for you and your devotion to News in Motion. We are a family. We love having you here. We want you to have a good week. Enjoy, give from your abundance, and enjoy the weekend. Take care.
Yeah.